NBA postseason is here, but not quite the playoffs. What? Playoffs? Well, the playoffs technically start on Saturday, but the postseason begins this Tuesday night with the play-in rounds, and these games are just as critical because they're do or die. They're elimination games. We're going to talk about both of them. Actually, one of them is a true elimination game. The other one is a part one of part two. I'll explain more in a moment. But hey, nonetheless, I've got free plays and analysis for you in both Heat, Hornets, Trailblazers, Suns, your first two postseason NBA games this Tuesday night on Prime, coming up free right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV, breaking down your two NBA postseason games for Tuesday night. And, of course, I'll be back for the two Wednesday games as well because I'm giving you every NBA postseason game this year free. The entire playoffs through the NBA Finals in June, every game for free here. But all I ask is a quick thumbs up like and a positive comment below, and I will keep them coming just like I did for every NCAA tournament game in March Madness. All right, let's quickly explain how the tournament works. It's the same since it began in 2020. After the COVID era, they wanted to put more teams in the postseason, and as though enough NBA teams don't make it. But I do like the format. In fact, I like it a lot because it does give teams a chance to sneak in, but you're being penalized for being a weaker team. And, of course, in the past, we always had 8 teams from each conference. That's still the setup. But the 7 and 8 seeds now have to play their way in, but they get a double elimination bracket, which means the 7-8 game, the winner is automatically in as a 7 seed. The loser gets another chance to win to be the 8 seed, whereas the 9-10 game, they have to win both games. So I think it's a great format. And historically, the 7 and 8s have the edge. We've only seen one 10 seed make it into the playoffs over the last 5 years, but that actually was the Miami Heat, who happened to be a 10 seed once again, and they're playing at Charlotte. Who would have thought a couple months ago, back in 2025, November, December, that the Charlotte Hornets would be hosting a postseason game? I wouldn't. I actually went to the Jazz Hornets game back in early November. Hornets blew a bad Jazz team out in that game on a Sunday night. I didn't think much of it. It just like Utah was terrible. But, Charlotte went on some monster runs right after that into the new year. Knoppel's been as good as anybody. His teammate Cooper Flagman have been the best rookies in the league, or his Duke teammate, I should say. And Charlotte now finds themselves as a 5.5 point favorite as the 9 seed against the 10 seed Heat. But historically, this has been kind of a 50-50 game. The 9 seeds are 6-4 straight up. The 10 seeds are 4-6 straight up. And I mentioned the only 10 seed that ever do it's the Miami Heat. I know they got slightly different players, but they still have some of that roster. And my man Spoelstra is still the head coach. So there's a lot of parts in place for Miami, a team that's been very good, perhaps the best play-in team of any. In fact, Miami Heat were one and done as a 10 seed. That was, I believe, last year against they beat both Chicago and Atlanta. And, of course, they made the monster run during that COVID era as what were they, an 8 seed, I believe, when they made the NBA Finals 5 years ago. So this is a team with some of the current players, definitely the current coaching staff, that has a history of doing quite well in these play-in scenarios. And then the other aspect of it is the Charlotte Hornets have no playoff spirits whatsoever. Yes, they played well down the stretch, but now it's a different level come postseason. You just get the feeling that the Heat of the playoff-tested team where the Hornets are not. So I think this is a Miami Heat team that's a live dog. The 5.5 looks a little inflated to me. And I'll also point out, if you look at the regular season meetings, I know Charlotte wasn't as good early in the season, but they still struggle with the Miami Heat. You look at these games they played early in the year, back on October 28th, they lost 144-117. And then Miami got them back the first week in November, 126-108. Heat won easy blowouts in those first 2 games. Now, granted, Charlotte was not playing as good then. I get that. But even back on March 6th at Charlotte as a 7.5 point dog, the Heat won outright, 128-120. The only win for the Hornets in the 4 games came right after that as a home revenge game, and they won 136-106 as a 5.5 point favorite. But Miami was 3-0 straight up and against the spread in those other 3 games, including the dog win in March on the road. I think they're a live dog here in this one. I don't think there's a huge difference between these teams, and we get some solid line value with the Miami Heat plus the 5.5. That game goes at 7:30 Eastern Tuesday night on Prime. By the way, the total opened 227 up to 229. The regular season games, as you'll see if you're looking at the box scores, were obviously extremely high scoring. But something I will point out is that these play-in games, it's a small sample, but in recent years, we've seen some games go well under the total. Not all of them, but we've seen some games that have gone double-digit ways under the total. So, yes, the regular season meetings were very high scoring. They had 261, 234, 248, and 242 in the 4 games. And this total is only around that 229 range. But once again, it's postseason basketball. Defensive intensity often kicks in, so that makes the total a little tricky in that one. All right, let's look at your late game here. It's actually the first game on the rotation schedule, but it's the late game, and this is because it's a 7-8 game. I guess that's why the betting rotation has it listed above, but it's obviously the late West Coast game at 10 o'clock Eastern. As you see on your screen, you got your Portland Trailblazers at the Phoenix Suns for this one, and Phoenix opened as about a 4-point favorite, and that's where it's holding steady right now. We've seen a little bit of money maybe on the under. Open 218.5. It's down to 218 in most spots. We've seen some 217s and starting to pop even on Monday afternoon. And as I mentioned earlier, the postseason games in these playing rounds the last 4 or 5 years, we have seen some low-scoring games at times. Let's look at the regular season. They played only 3 times in the regular season, and Phoenix did take care of business for the most part. They won the first game in mid-November, 127-110, as actually a 1.5-point road dog. That game went over the total by about half a point, landed 237. We had 255 points in the February 3rd meeting in Portland once again. Suns won that one outright, 130-125. That time they were a 3.5-point favorite. And then the road team won all 3 games because Phoenix finally got it done at Portland on the 22nd. I'm sorry, the Suns won that one, or lost that one. Portland won it 92-77. So the road team, perfect 3-0 straight up and against the spread in the 3 games this year, which is a little strange. And that third game, obviously, much lower scoring, as they got combined for only 169 points after having 255 and 237 in the other 2. So we have seen a little bit of money coming on the under, maybe because of that, also because it's postseason. Suns were in a terrible shooting slump in that loss. They gave up 47% in that game, but they shot only 36.5. And if you recall, in late February, Phoenix had an 0-5 point spread run, a 1-4 straight up run. Their only win came in overtime. They didn't win a single game in regulation over a 5-game span, and that was the 4th game of that 5-game span. And they shot 37% or worse in 4 straight during that span as well. So a little bit of an asterisk maybe next to that blowout loss at home. And I think because of it, it is a little bit of a revenge spot here for Phoenix, who I rate as the better team, and they're getting healthier as well. In this one, Green is questionable. Everybody else is a go. Phoenix minus 3.5 to 4, I think is worth a look. Mostly minus 4s out there right now. And something else I'll point out about the history of this playing around the last 5 years or so is I believe the 7 seed from one of the conferences has made the postseason, made the actual 18 playoff every year but one. Every year but one, we've had it happen. And if you look at the record by game, in this game alone, the 7 seeds are 8-2, straight up 80%. The 8 seeds are just 2-8. Now, the 8 seed, of course, can lose and still have another chance. And by the way, the 8 seeds, when they lose this game, they are 4-4 in the next game. The 7 seeds, I believe, are 6-2 in this round, 2-0 in the next game. So they're 8-2 overall in a play-in game. So this is a situation where 7 seeds have the edge. They have home court advantage. The 8 seed, actually, it's not a must-win for the 8 seed, as I mentioned. And we have seen these 7 seeds with the home court do pretty well historically, about an 80% clip. And I think the Suns are the better team, and they had the revenge from that recent loss when they were going through the cold shooting spell. I like Phoenix minus 4 in this one at 10 o'clock Eastern. So there you go. 1 road team, 1 home team. That's how I would attack it. And for the most part, it's kind of neutral home road. You know, when we get mediocre teams in general, road teams have a chance. So I think the Heat are the live road dog. I think the Suns are the better team in the other game. What are your thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. I read the comments. I reply back. I love it when you all include analysis. Let me know what side, total, player props you like. By the way, we're going to dig more into player props when we get the actual NBA playoff matchups, the 7-game series. One thing I love to do is to watch the ebb and flow of the 2-3 games in, and we find guys maybe are overrated, underrated, that regress or are due for a breakout. We do really well with NBA playoff props, and I give all those to you free here in the videos. So yet another reason to click the thumbs up like, drop a positive comment below, and also make sure you click subscribe. We're at almost 250,000 subscribers. Almost 250,000 subscribers, can't be wrong. Don't cost nothing. It's free. Click subscribe. And when you do so, click the bell as well. That's the insider secret. Click the bell for an instant alert so you'll know every day when these playoff videos are posted. We're going to try to get them up the night before for you each and every day in advance. If you're finding it useful, thumbs up, like, a positive comment, and I will do every NBA playoff game for you this postseason free here on WagerTalk TV. Now, when I'm giving you free opinions and insight on every single game, obviously a lot of these are light TV leans only. Don't get too excited, but both games are on Prime. I love it. Well, we have, 16-3 NFL run? I lost track. I'll have to look in the records. I know some of you know it by heart, but you know our Thursday night NFL Prime record was insane. Let's see if we can do it here with some postseason NBA Prime as well. So I love that both games Tuesday night are on Prime. Know you want to play them. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Have some fun with it. Proper money management is the key to winning long term. If you're playing the light TV leans, 1% of bankroll is probably appropriate. But if you're serious about building that bankroll, you need my personal best bets. And sometimes these games are going to make my best bet card. Obviously, I'm giving you everything in the videos. Some of those games make the best bet card on a daily basis. But the only way to know the strongest plays is to be a direct client of mine at WagerTalk.com. And it's so simple. Doesn't matter which package you choose. Every client gets the exact same plays I'm personally using each day. And as you see on your screen, you can get there quicker, wt.buzz/SM. That's the shortcut, takes you right to my personal page, where you will also find a daily free play. Don't forget about the daily free play. The last cut for my best bet card, just a bit outside the strongest opinion on the board that didn't make my best bet card, goes up as a bonus free play every day. So even if you're new to handicapping, building your bankroll, doing your own work, go get that free play with analysis every day on my page. And while you're there, check out the best bets, check out some special offers. Buy 3 days, get 3 more days free. It's been so popular that we keep it running. You see it on your screen there. There's flames, there's fire. You know it's a good deal when there's fire on the screen. 3 days is $69, but nope, you're getting 6 days for $69, dude, because you buy 3, you get 3 more free. No promo code needed. Also, I still have a $199 special for the 30-day. The promo code is listed on my page, SM100. Normally a 30-day all-access, baseball and basketball, all sports is $299. At checkout, use promo code SM100. You get 30 days for $199. Or if you want a little bit longer subscription, how about all summer long, the next 3.5 months, Summer Extravaganza, the Spectacular, through August 31st. This will obviously get you the complete NBA playoffs, get you over half the baseball season, and it also gets you some football there in August. There you go, the Summer Spectacular, as you see on your screen, the all-access pass for just $749. That's over a $594 instant savings. And the sooner you get on board, the more days you get included. As I do this for these Tuesday games, 140 days remaining in that package. Not a bad deal. That's like $5 a day, about $2 to $3 a play. And oh, by the way, speaking of $5, what? Yes, Abe Lincoln, I'm getting to it. $5 Tuesday, 7 years ago. WagerTalk.com created $5 Tuesday. Hey, this Tuesday, every play, just $5 on my page. I didn't mention it at the start because I want to point out the value of the bigger packages. Everyone gets so excited about $5 Tuesday. And yes, you can get my top Tuesday best bets for just $5 this Tuesday. But as I mentioned, the Summer Extravaganza for 3.5 months works up to $5 a day, like $2 a play. That's a great deal. And there's also a 1-year all access with over a $500 instant discount that gets it down about $1 in play, gets all of next year's football as well. So look, it doesn't matter whether you get 1 day, 1 play, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. Everybody gets the exact same personal best bets I'm using each day, my personal plays, and it's always been that way. I started back in August of 1996, 30 years ago, as a full-time professional capper and sports bettor. And if I'm using a game, I've always sent it to my clients. Go get my strong best bets for $5 Tuesday. Get that bonus free play and check out those special offers. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. Don't forget, you can also follow me on social media on X and Instagram. Links to the videos, free plays as well on X and Instagram at Steve Merril. 2 R's, 1 L. You see it on your screen. MERRIL at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you also know there's more free play videos, including tomorrow's playing games for Wednesday coming up soon and other free play videos coming up next.